In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to purchase an item. We need to have funds in our account in order to pay to the item's escrow. So you can see that we have some waiting to be confirmed here. You should not store funds on your Cryptoauction account, as we designed the platform to be a secure escrow trading platform and not an online wallet. The best approach is to buy an item or win an auction and then send the funds to your account. When they fully confirm, 2 confirmations are required for this, immediately pay to escrow for an item. So we've searched for an item and found one that we want. You can see all the relevant information on the view page for that item. The seller's review should be of particular interest to any buyer. You can click Watch this item and it will create an entry in the Watched Items page on your account, which you can remove at any time. You can also bookmark the seller, and an entry will be created in your saved sellers page. You can access this page in your account section. You will be able to access all the seller's items and reviews easily from here. Or, alternatively, you can click Other Items from this seller. This button has been relabeled to Seller's Storefront and some other features added, but through this link you can see any other items that the seller has listed. Since this is a fixed price Buy It Now item, we simply enter the quantity we wish to purchase. In this case there is only one, so we enter 1 for the quantity. We click Buy Now and confirm. At this point the item is removed from the listing and appears in the purchased items. If I had bid on an auction and won the item, it would appear in the Auctions Won section. Conversely, if I had bid on an auction and not won, the item would appear in the Auctions Not Won section. Okay, so I want to pay to escrow for this item, but let's just make sure that the funds have confirmed. So I go to my wallet and I can see that they have. I can now go back to my history and click Pay to Escrow. When I do this, I am presented with a flash box which allows me to select the appropriate postage cost, be it local collection, domestic or international. In this case, everywhere was selected. These costs are set by the seller when they are uploading an item for sale. I also select the currency that I'd like to pay in. In this case, I will select Prime Coins. I then click Pay and then Confirm. Please note that once the confirmation button is clicked, the payment cannot be cancelled. I am then issued with a private key for the escrow account. This is my private key. Since this is a multi-signature escrow account, the system retains the other key. The funds cannot be spent without this private key and the system key. And we do not store your private key, so you must make sure that you copy and save this key to a safe place. You will need it to finalize the transaction. If you lose this key, you will not be able to finalize the payment and will lose access to the funds in the escrow account. You can use Ctrl+C or right-click on the highlighted key and click Copy. You can see that we've copied it to a file here. Also, you should not check Prevent this page from creating additional dialogues, as this may interfere with the key delivery to you. If we click OK or Cancel at this stage, the result will be the same. The transaction will finalize. You will see a brief paid message flash and the item will display an escrow balance for the amount paid. This is the sum of the item cost and the postage costs. I will just log off and log in as the seller. Okay, here we see the seller's account. We can see now that the item has been purchased and it's no longer listed in the current items selling. So, as a seller, we now have new information presented to us. We can click on the buyer's address and it will show the address to which we should send the item. We can also see that the funds for the item have been paid to escrow. After we have sent the item, we mark the item as posted on the listing. This will advise the buyer that it's on its way. Okay, I've logged out and logged back in as the buyer, and I can now see that the item has been posted. At this point I'm free to review the seller. If I receive my package and everything is okay with it, I can leave a positive review. If something is wrong with it, or I don't receive it at all, I can leave a negative review. There is a third option as well, and it's part of the dispute resolution system. I can open a dispute from the review button. So when I do this, the escrow funds for the item are redistributed to other Cryptoauction users that have a very high user review rating, and this distribution is random. We decided on this approach as it would be impossible to investigate each dispute, and only the buyer and seller will ever really know the outcome of a transaction. By offering a dispute resolution system such as this, we de-incentivize bad sellers by removing the potential reward and incentivize users to keep a high rating. The buyer does shoulder the risk with this type of automated dispute resolution, but the buyers can choose to only purchase off of people with high review ratings. As the system grows, so too do the users' reviews, and reliable sellers emerge. You can offer a reason for the dispute review and supply your private key for the item, and then click Submit to finalize the dispute. Okay, so let's assume that the item has arrived okay and I want to leave a positive review. I simply type out the review that I want, select the rating and hit Submit. I now need to complete the transaction by finalizing the payment. I click Finalize Payment and I copy my private key into the input field provided. I click Finalize Payment again and confirm. At this point the funds are sent directly from the escrow account to the seller's home client wallet. You can see the funds arrive on the top right hand corner of the screen, since in this case I was acting as both the seller and the buyer. And that's it. The buyer has received the item and paid for it. The transaction is now complete.